Hi everyone, my name is Mary Beth. Welcome to my channel. I send you love and blessings, love and blessings, love and blessings. I usually do that at the end of the channel, but I figure if maybe people don't watch it to the end, so I'll do it first. Love and blessings, love and blessings, love and blessings. I just do that every morning to Mother Earth, and it just feels good to do that for humanity as well. Anyway, welcome to this reading. It is another uplifting message for Twin Flames to help you on your Twin Flame journey. And I do hope you're enjoying the whole series. I started doing it because I felt like, and not that it just started, I mean, it's been going on for years, I guess, but only recently did I just start looking at comments. There's a lot of talented readers out there on YouTube. And so I was just kind of checking out the comments to see how everyone was doing. And it kind of, just kind of broke my heart, just seeing what was going on. And, I may not be attracting those viewers. I may be attracting people who are very empowered, who are doing really well on their journeys, who are maybe even farther along than I am, or who are, just already out of the matrix. So that's what I'm all about, deprogramming and getting out of this matrix and into the fifth dimension. And you know what? If you have any suggestions or any solutions that you'd like to share, please comment below. I am always about learning. I'm constantly researching and I'm constantly making like new cards. Like I'm constantly making decks of information. I'm constantly anything spiritual, anything uplifting, anything that I feel would empower me, I I find and I use or I channel and I, try to share it with everyone. So, all right, so let's get started and see what we got for this reading on how to uplift us. All right, so the first card we got is Surrender to Passion. It says, get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. Right, so, and I also like to kind of call this like blisscipline in a way. Like I used to, I remember when I think this was back in 2018, I started feeling like some kind of dark night of the soul come over me. I went over this whole like, oh, I feel abandoned type, dark night of the soul. And so I decided I needed to be more disciplined in my bliss. And that's actually a word, by the way, blisscipline. And so I decided to write down what all my passions were or anything I could do to nurture myself. And I was going to incorporate it. And I didn't care if I had to make it into like a spa type home or a spa type day, whatever I needed to do all day long, whatever it was, I was going to incorporate my passions. And so this says to focus on people or activities that ignite your passion. So, like, what do you really enjoy? Like, really, what lights your fire? Like, what do you do where all of a sudden the time passes by and you're like, what? What do you mean it's 9 o'clock at night? That type of thing. Like, what do you absolutely love? And focus on that. And when you do that, there is no such thing as time, especially when you move up into the fifth dimension. You realize when you start doing your passion, really time does not exist whatsoever. Time passes by so fast. And you get up in the morning and you're excited. So it says surrender to passion. Instead of focusing on what's not working in your life or focusing on what's bringing you fear or focusing on what's something that you thought you were going to have and didn't get, or it's something that you thought was going to make you happy, or whatever your expectations were, release that and instead surrender to your passion. All right, the next card you got is Queen Esther, the Morning Star. It says, my ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. Right, so what she's saying is, so our ego, it's here to protect us, especially before Gaia started, rising in vibration, and we were in a very low vibrational, very low dense, I should say very dense planet. We took on a lot of, traumas, and our ego was there to protect us as best that our ego could. And so now our ego is still doing that, and it's still kind of running a tape recorder in our heads. And so what she's saying is, you know what? My soul couldn't care less what my ego wants. My soul couldn't care less when my ego wants it. And my soul couldn't care less on how my ego wants it to come. My soul doesn't care. My soul knows best. And she's saying that, you know what? My ego serves my soul. My soul is in charge. I listen to my soul. My soul has the divine timing. My ego doesn't. My ego can just shut up and sit down. My ego, I know, wants to protect me. My ego wants what it wants now. And my and my soul actually knows best. So she knows she's no longer listening to her ego and she's listening to her soul, and that her soul will ignore what the ego wants, will ignore what the ego is crying about. And she knows that the divine timing is at work, and she trusts her soul. She doesn't only trust her ego. She's saying, I know the ego wants it this way, and the ego wants it, yesterday, and the ego is like really in fear because it hasn't happened yet. But she's saying, my soul is like, you know what? You can all be unstable. You can be in fear, but you know what? Shift to me, shift into the soul, and you'll realize that I got your back. I have a way better outcome than what your ego is trying to give you, and I have way better timing than the timing your ego is trying to give you. So it's saying, trust your soul's divine timing. All right, the next card you got is make space for silence. So this says, with so many things demanding our attention all day, we could become used to having our minds filled at all times. When we're unwinding at home at the end of the day, we continue the pattern by consuming more distractions through music, TV, and games. While these things are not inherently bad, their presences mean it's rare for our minds to have nothing to do. By putting all distractions aside, we can see what happens when we gift ourselves silence. And such silences are useful, not only for recharging, but also for creativity. Try spending 10 minutes sitting quietly without distractions. Okay, so that's about make space for. I know I have great difficulty with that. I'm always trying to fill my mind with something new. I'm not very good at sitting in silence. So what I do now is, and I actually put it on my little poster board over here, to kind of, just to keep me focused. I'll do like an because I think it vibrates very highly. I want to say vibrates at about, I want to say like I want to say like the love vibration around 500, something like that, or 450. So when you say like it helps you to vibrate higher. And yes, it's not silent, but it's still, it clears your mind. Anyway, that's what I do. If you're like me and you have a hard time with mind chatter. Okay, the next card you got is thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. Yeah, and I like to make this joke that another YouTuber, says, and I say it in kind of more this way. The YouTuber likes to say, if you're not from my highest, if I'm sorry, yeah, if you're not helping me to grow, then you're just a distraction. And so I like to say, yeah, if you're not, if something's not from my highest I mean, if something is not helping me to grow, if there's something that's not helping me to evolve, then it's probably not for my highest good. And so I have to trust that the universe is bringing me situations and people in my life that are expanding me, that are expanding my perceptions, that's seeing me beyond my own limits, because I have very limited sight sometimes. Like I'm very limited in my sights because I get so caught up in like what it is that I feel like this is what's supposed to happen. And this is the way it's supposed to look, kind of like, the ego, right? So the ego has a very specific way of looking at things and wanting things done. And so, when you let go and you let your soul take over, it expands those limits. And that's why now I've decided, you know what, my twin flame journey, it's not based on physical union with my twin flame. It's based on getting the heck out of this matrix. I am getting the heck out of Dodge because the matrix is whack, in my opinion. And so that's what I've made this about. Like my whole perception has shifted. This is what my twin flame journey is about: getting the heck out of the matrix, getting into the fifth dimension. Because once my vibrations are always vibrating around 500, which, believe it or not, is our natural set point. You wouldn't know because we've taken on so much garbage and so many traumas that it's weighed us down. to like a lower vibration. So even at neutrality, it's hard to like even stay there sometimes. Trying to get over neutrality. Do I have a picture here? I can kind of give you a quick picture of what that looks like. I think I've showed it before, but like here's like the Hakan scale, and so here's like neutrality at 250. Then you have willingness, acceptance. So getting to acceptance is fine. So I think the way I've gotten to acceptance is to say this twin flame journey is just helping me get out of the matrix, and I accept that, and I'm allowing my soul to push me. Then you have reason, then you have love way up here in 500, and then you have joy, and then you have peace, and then you have enlightenment. All right. So anyway, so it's just allowing your soul and universe to expand you, expand your perceptions, getting you out of your limitations. Because if you have like a limited thought or a limited way of looking at things, try to expand it. Try to expand it to see, where else can I push this? How can I expand on this? Like where can I push my limits a little bit, or at least push my thinking or my perception on this, so that it empowers me instead of brings me to fear. And so again, I'm trying to shift this channel more into deprogramming ourselves, deprogramming ourselves from having to be codependent on other people for happiness, so that we're depending on ourselves, because there's so much peace there. There are so many people out there who are doing this, and they're so at peace and they're happy. They wake up in the morning and they're flying high and they're excited, like every morning's Christmas. And they're flying all over the place, so happy. And so it's because, they're not relying on other people for that happiness. All right. And then the last card you got is, we are not trapped by our thoughts. What we generally do, however, is create thoughts that trap us. And that's from Joshua David Stone. Yep. So, our thoughts are fine. We can let our thoughts flow. We can let our ego chatter away. But it's when we allow those thoughts to trap us, when that thought grabs us and we're like, yeah, now wait a minute. Yeah, why is that? And then you start harping on it, and you start overthinking, and now you let that thought trap you. That's when you get into your, little third dimensional spin, and it just kind of, drags you down. And then you have to kind of remember to not allow the ego to take over, because it is just trying to protect you. Thank your ego, but then say, okay, soul, take charge again. You got this. Where do we got to go? And then, help your soul to expand you and to expand your perceptions and get out of those limited beliefs or thought. Then again, it's programming. We're all programmed, so we have to deprogram ourselves. And so, surrender to your passion, surrender to people and activities that help you with that passion, surrender to activities and people that help you grow. Go where the growth is. Don't go where the distraction is. Go where the growth is, and they will help you to expand. All right, and then I just pull a card to, something to ponder on, and you can ponder on it or not. And basically, it says, "I listen to myself by." So, how do you listen to yourself, and what does that mean to you? So, I guess that kind of goes with the whole make space for silence, and it has a lot to do with the soul. But anyway, how do you listen to yourself and not let your ego take over? All right, so I do hope you enjoyed this uplifting video to help you on your twin flame journey. And if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button to get more videos. I am trying to upload daily to be, more, of a benefit for everyone on this twin flame journey. And I just want to say, love and blessings, love and blessings, love and blessings. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.